Hey everybody, welcome along. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Stuart Reid, if you haven't already guessed, and I'm a full-time children's author. I've been a full-time children's author for 12 years, and in that time I've been invited along to 3,000 schools and libraries and book festivals around Britain, Ireland, India, Hong Kong, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Spain, Australia. Absolutely love Australia. I've been there 5 times. I performed down at the Adelaide Fringe. Chances are some of you guys might recognise me because I've done maybe about 400 events at the Edinburgh Fringe, and maybe you've popped along to Edinburgh to see me. And all 7 schools that, I think there might be 8, but I can only find 7 on the Falkirk website. Cumley Park, Carmuirs, Buntaskin, Bainsford, Easter Carmuirs, Langley, Slamanan. I've visited you guys, I've performed in your schools. Maybe not recently, but I've definitely been along and we've had a fantastic time. And I know that you Primary 7 guys and girls are heading up to high school after the summer holidays. You've got your transition work to be getting on with. Honestly, it's going to be brilliant. You're going to love it. I've been to Falkirk High a couple of times recently. I've been working with the S1s and 2s and 3s. I've met the transition team that you'll get to know, and Missy McQueen and the rest of the team. I've met some of the teachers. They are awesome. Absolutely love it. Totally different from my day. See, when I was your age and I went to, it was Woodlands High School. It's all knocked down now. But it was scary. All this transition was, there it's there. Just go in the front door. That was it. That was it. And you're tiny. What you'll realise when you get to high school is all the other kids are like absolutely massive. Yeah, I'm 6'2", and I was in Falkirk High in December there, and all the S5s and F6s, they're all absolutely enormous. But you'll have a good time. I'm sure you will. I'm actually really excited that some of you guys have been given a copy of my book. That's them there. Gorgeous George and the Giant Geriatric Generator, Incredible Iron Brewman Instant, Power Pint Poo Pump, Soggy Saturday Sandwich is my new one. Right, Stuart, stop advertising. Beg your pardon. This one here is Gorgeous George and the Time Warp Trouser Trumpets. This book was given the Silver Seal at the Wishing Shelf Book Awards a couple of years ago, so I'm particularly proud of it. And I'm actually really excited the project that you've been given. I understand that you're going to be writing an alternative ending. You guys are going to be stealing my job shortly. Or you've got to do a little scene. You've got to reenact a scene. And there's so much material in here. This is why I chose it. Because in this book, my 2 main characters, Gorgeous George and Grandpa Jock, they actually swapped their cow costume for a bag of magic beans. And Grandpa Jock doesn't realise it, but he puts the beans in a pot of curry. Now, can you imagine the flatulent power of beans and curry? Grandpa Jock, he then eats the curry, it ripples right through him, and he's got Time Warp Trouser Trumpets. The wind, the magic blasts him through space and time, and he's got to go and search for a barrel of missing gold. There's a nasty little leprechaun in the story called Tiny Tim, and it's his magic beans that blast George and Grandpa Jock back through space and time. So you've got so many different scenes you could pick from. There's the bit where they meet Shakespeare, or they meet pirates, or they fight aliens. They get blasted back to ancient Egypt. They get ancient Mexico as well. They go to the pyramids in Mexico. So there's so many bits you can change, and I'm honestly so excited to see your little scenes together on the stage when we meet up again in June. Right. I'm going to read a little bit just now, just a snippet, just a bit from the early part of the book. Chapter 3. Just then, Grandpa Jock sat up. He put his hand on his tummy. He looked surprised. "George! George!" he cried. "Did you hear that rumble noise? Did you hear that "No, Grandpa, I didn't hear anything," replied George. But no sooner had he spoken than the loud bubbling slosh came rippling out the old man's tummy. "Oh, it's got a bit of a kick to it," Grandpa Jock said, "and a lot sooner than I expected." George sniggered. "You better be quick, Grandpa. We don't want any more accidents." No sooner was the old Scotsman standing than the most thunderous roar rippled through the old man's bottom. Wave after wave of the biggest bottom bursts that could ever befall a human being thundered their way through the old geezer. His knees began to tremble, his tummy began to shake, and the air around them began to mist over in a green haze. George sniffed. It felt as if both of them had been wrapped in a blanket of rancid cabbages. And right before George's eyes, Grandpa Jock disappeared. chapter 3. Apologies to teachers for the reference to flatulence and bottom burps, but hey, everybody does it. I can't wait to see you all in June. I think we're going to have a fantastic day. I hope you have an absolutely super transition, and I know that your time in high school is going to be phenomenal. Just got to mention, actually, I've got a little soft spot for one of you primary schools out there. Hey, Cumley Park! Yeah! The thing about Cumley Park is I used to go there. Not the building you're in now. You've got a fantastic new school with hexagonal octagon shapes and things like that. It looks really cool. However, when I was there, it was the old building. It celebrated its 100th anniversary. It wasn't called Cumley Park. We called it Crumbly Park because it was fallen down. And there was a ghost. One of the teachers freaked out when she saw a ghost, and then there was a huge big lump of sandstone fell from the top of the building, smashed right through her car window when she parked her car next to the school. Story ideas are everywhere. You just have to look around. Have a think about dreams. You have a brilliant dream. Wow, that dream should be a movie. Write it down. Turn it into your story. Or, I love alliterations. If your name's David or Daniel or Deborah, you could have Dangerous Deborah and her dog-eating dinosaur. You start putting alliterations together. Words that don't usually sit side by side jump out of your head. And another thing, Frankenstein. Frankenstein was written by a girl called Mary Shelley when she was just 18, based on a dream that she had. She woke up in the middle of the night, she could remember her dream. It was a man in a white coat, and he was sewing fingers onto hands, and hands onto arms, and arms onto bodies, and he was bringing the dead bodies back to life using lightning from a thunderstorm outside. That was her dream. And she suddenly wrote it down in the most famous horror story ever, written by a young girl called Mary Shelley when she was just 18 years old. So dreams, alliterations, look at stuff that goes on like Crumbly Park and the ghosts that are pushing giant sandstone blocks off the roof through car windows. Things are going round about you. Look at the people in your team. Look at the teachers. Write about teachers that you see round about you. There's so many different story ideas. So have a lot of fun when you're doing the ending to my book. Have a lot of fun when you're putting a little play together, and I really can't wait to see it. Once again, yeah, you know who I am. I'm Stuart, and I look forward to seeing you in June. All the best. Fantastic. Cheers now.